Welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome and hello. Good morning. Happy Monday, guys. It is un poco mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more, just like it says on the hat, guys. Un poco mas. Good morning. Welcome, hello and welcome and hello, guys. As you know, I like a nice prolonged, obnoxious greeting. So welcome and hello and welcome and hello. Thank you for joining me. It's Un Poco Mas. It is me. It is I. It is cornbread. Of course, they call me cornbread because I'm moist, doughy, and I crumble under pressure. They call me a bunch of other stuff, but that nickname thing is just overdone, and it's tired. So let's move on. I don't have that much time because I got a bunch of work to do. Obviously, the market's about to open, so we'll see what goes on there. Hope this isn't about SMCI. Yeah, no. Yeah, SMCI is actually one of the stocks I really like. I guess we could pull that one up and see what's going on here. What's going on, guys? Good morning, welcome, hello and welcome, all that fun stuff. Hope everybody is having a good Monday so far. Yeah, SMCI, pretty strong pre-market, looking to take down 56 here. It's like done 3 little tests of it pre-market. But yeah, there was plenty of buyers coming into SMCI higher. I think I would be extremely cautious, right now buying Palantir. Frankly, I would be taking profits on Palantir if I was smart enough to have held the stock low those many moons ago. But Robinhood is another one. And these companies are absolutely crushing it. I mean, it's not sour grapes. It's just, you have to apply fundamental valuation principles. Even on a pre-profit growth stock, you have to look at GARP. You have to look at, not only is it a great company, is it growing quickly, but is where I am buying in right now today, does that make sense? Or is it very likely I could get a better price in a few months, perhaps a dramatically better price? When I look at a company like Palantir, it's like the PE is 700 and the forward PE is 300 something. And I'm looking at the rate of growth and it's not that fast. It's not NVIDIA growth. It's not even it's not near SMCI growth the last few years. But because it's AI and it has huge gross margins, it's just, you have to come back down to earth. If I had bigger balls, I would short Palantir. But, I mean, it's trading almost $400 billion market cap. And they're doing, sales was like 1.8 and then 1.3, 1.8. It's back up. They'll probably do 3, but they don't make all that much money. I just think people that are still pushing this, buy Palantir, buy Hood. I mean, I'm not even telling people jump in and buy Sofi pre-ER. I think Sofi has room to grow. I think it's a very fair price you're getting for Sofi coming from the SPAC. The execution and performance of this company has just been absolutely extraordinary. SMCI pushing up 4%. A lot of volume coming in at the bell. Not exactly sure why. Sorry guys, I'm trying to watch a bunch of stuff going on, and so we got SMCI. We got let's see what NEO is doing. If anybody's interested, NEO of course is hanging down, getting stepped on as it's wont to do. They basically trash that stock every day at the beginning. Let's see what Sofi is doing here, guys. Welcome and hello, guys. Welcome and hello. Yeah, Sofi, same thing. It's the same. Sofi and NEO shorts, guys. You wouldn't believe this if you hadn't, if you didn't watch Un Poco Mas back when this turd of a channel started. But the exact same shorts used to fix the price of Sofi and NEO, and a lot of times the daily charts would look almost exactly the same as with the weeklies. They were walking the two stocks. It was a little bit of a different walk down, but boy, it was the same shorts. And you can see a lot of these guys on, I mean, it's basically the same few shorts that rule the world. And they act in concert with the same longs to walk these stocks down from pumps. There's characteristics of it. You see it in the volume, and it always involves pump and dumps. It always involves stocks where, retarders are splashing out a bunch of money, throwing a bunch of money away on, short dated call options all the time. It's just stocks that are ripe for the picking, stocks where there are media frenzies. And then other stocks, you can look at shorting activity, other ways. But let's see what's going on with CRISPR, guys, if anybody's interested. CRISPR just flat, holding there at 64, 65 bucks. It's doing its same thing. It's just they just go crazy on these stocks in the morning, and they usually pump them up. There's a dramatic sell-off, like a waterfall, and then they kind of just accumulate and try to cover all day. I wouldn't be at all surprised if that is what happens here. Pardon me, guys. A little bit tired. Let's see what's happening with Hood. So I was just talking about it, just kind of sitting there up 44 cents or up 50 cents on the day. Same kind of action, guys. Little fall and then a lot of volume. Palantir just trying to get through 166 160 was running above that area all through the pre-market. Yeah, the algo's working real hard on Palantir. Institutions own most of that stock. This type of move, guys, I mean, when you look at Palantir, a year ago the stock was at 25, so you're looking at more than a 6x in a year for a stock that's, growing sales at just not much faster than Sofi, slower than SMCI, way slower than NVIDIA. And I don't know, guys. If somebody can, I don't know where they are premium the option. They're probably at work, probably busy. How do you get to this valuation? I mean, how do you see this company executing and growing Palantir to get to, to grow into this $375 billion market cap, 723 PE? I know that's going down because they're growing earnings, rapidly, and that's fair. I mean, and their gross margins are huge, and that's fair, but that doesn't necessarily mean your net income is going to go all to the bottom line from those gross margins, because there's a lot of growing pains. And I think everyone is underestimating, what it requires in terms of a sales force, in terms of educating the market to sell your specific solution to everybody. It's like, okay, we have this software package that, we've sold to the military, we sold to the government, all well and good. It's limited. That's a limited scope business, and it's a limited growth business. You see governments obsessed with cutting costs, efficiency, lowering taxes. I mean, there's not going to be these fat margins. And there's a lot of other companies that can do AIs. Like, well, nobody can aggregate the data like us. Nobody has the algorithms we have. I mean, look at what the Chinese are doing with these models. I mean, I'm not smart enough to really understand this stuff, but I don't think there's going to be so much fat where people are getting, government and industry contracts at just incredible margins. NVIDIA is a little bit different because it's very hard to leapfrog them. It's very hard to copy them because it's many, many years in the hardware, in these foundries, in these chips. It's the cycle is years long in development. You can't just take one and just knock it off. It's the machine that builds the machine that builds the chip. AI is a different animal. I mean, I just don't think, okay, because Palantir is ahead in this race right now, that they're going to necessarily be dominating the landscape in 10 years and grow into this valuation. Now, maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe it's a multi-trillion-dollar company, running the entire world, backbone of military, all this analytics, and they're just everywhere. And you'd be a fool not to buy at 160. Maybe that's possible. But that's just not how I think. I have to buy stocks cheap before they run. Because my thinking is, if you buy a stock after it's 6x in less than a year, I mean, if you go back 5 years, this is, you know, this is when I was buying the stock at 7, and this is when I was selling it like at 18. Anyway, that's bad. But this started to just take a crazy run here last November, just exploded off of 40. And now it's pushing through 160, and it's just an absolutely unstoppable force. I mean, most of the stock is owned by, you know, institutions, but I think retail and sort of this constant frenzy just keeps driving the stock up. And I think those institutions are going to take profits on the stock. They have this runs can't go on forever. I mean, for a stock to 6x in less than a year, you would be expecting, I would be expecting growth rates of more than 100%. And we're just not seeing anything like that, you know, with Palantir. But again, maybe it's sour grapes. Maybe I'm an idiot. It's highly likely. But I just, and again, Hood, another one, it's an absolutely great company. I mean, they're innovating, they're moving into Europe, they're doing all kinds of great things. But again, the PE ratio at 60, personally, I would rather buy Sofi. I mean, I know their PE ratio is 49, but I think Hood has already started to kind of earn money. Like Sofi is just barely scratching the surface with EPS. I mean, they've just really turned the corner to making money. Sofi has made massive, expensive foundational investments in their technology, in their platform, in their capacity to win the future. Sofi has a long-term, customer-focused mindset, which is like kind of a twin with a discounted cash flow model. They want the most lifetime profit out of a customer. And I think that's very, very important if you're a long-term investor. Now, you might say, okay, I'm a momentum investor. I'd rather just buy into the momentum in Hood and Palantir and try to get out at the top. And maybe this is the top, maybe it's not. It doesn't appear so, as these stocks are green again today, especially Hood, up over 1%. CRISPR, a little bit red. IOVA taking a move. Prop making a nice move. Prop, that kind of brings me to Prop. This is a stock I was going to talk about because I was trying to identify for you how to find these little hidden zombie stocks, these little tiny nothing cap stocks that are like the ones, the chosen ones, the fallen angels that they walk down in price. Institutions are going to accumulate all of it, and then they're going to go full send. They're going to do the old Vanguard, BlackRock, kick it in the nuts, rocket ship, send it to the moon, one of those carnival games where they whack it with the mallet and the weight goes way up, and there's a dude sitting up there, and that weight goes up and smashes him in the nuts, and then he falls off into a dunk tank. You know that old children's nursery rhyme by the sea. Ugh, exhausted. Guys, what do you do if your thought process is compromised? Like none of your thoughts make sense. Like none of your thoughts are coherent. What's the remedy? Oh, I hate everything, guys. I'm so old. I'm so bitter. But here's how you do it. You want to find these. I have nerds. I have researchers. I have people looking at these things. Look for a few things. Okay. On Prop, this is an energy company. So this is a drilling company. They drill wells and all kinds of stuff. But these are not institutions considered institutions. These are considered insiders, basically, because these are not financial companies. So they don't have to file the same way as an institution. You have to be a bit of a detective when you look at these things. Okay, so you don't really have to be a detective to figure this out. This is the institutional ownership. So just bear that in mind. Keep that graph in the back of your mind. Now, these are sort of insiders. These are companies that invest in energy, like Energy Partners, Bayside Exploration. I don't know who Noragao, Nominees, Payty, Limited, ATF, Gregory. Okay, Gregory O'Neill, I think, is the founder of this company because he like owns all the shares. I think he owns about a quarter of the company. When you get down to the true institutional investors, looky here. Okay, and look at their averages. You have Citadel, they have 1 million shares at 730. Vanguard just increased 90% in Q2. So they have 870,000 shares and they're in at $8.20. Keep in mind the stock was now down in the threes. It was down even way below that. You have old Uncle BlackRock here, my favorite market maker. These are my two favorite market makers to follow, Vanguard and BlackRock. And on the short side, Citadel. Watch for Citadel to flip. Those are the three things I look at. Now, you can look at Geode, you can look at Susquehanna on the short side, you can look at Jane Street. You should especially look at State Street on the long side, and they're very, very influential long. State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock own the entire stock market. Do you guys know that? And I'm not being melodramatic at all when I say that. They literally own the entire market. Look it up. I just saw a show about this on like 60 Minutes or something, about how these three companies trade all stocks. But they don't usually own this much of the little ones. And then, okay, here's what I'm talking about. Look at the short interest. Look what happened. Okay, on July 23rd, it was 4 million. And then on the 25th, it was less than 2 million. So the short in one day just went down by 50%. That's what you want to watch for. Now, I know that's just when the filing comes. That's not necessarily when it happened or anything. That's just when Ortex is, putting this together, estimating, what may have happened. But okay, cost to borrow average is 11, max is 14. It's tight. It's not like cost to borrow is all over the place and there's shares available at 1% and there's a bunch of short longs. These are, I would say, these are shorts out of position. And look who's shorting the company. Okay, there was only 2 big shorts on the company. I don't even need to click on it. It's Citadel and Susquehanna. I already looked. Fund shorting, Citadel and Susquehanna. So they both had almost identical positions, both from 732. They both made a bunch of money. They're not big positions at all. But if you go back, you can see the insiders here. They own almost 50% of the company. Again, very, very bullish. The founder owns like 25% and his trusts and all that. So this is a stock. There's not much liquidity. There's not many shares available. Institutions, insiders, other energy, they own all the shares, and nobody knows about this stock. So basically what happened when the short just got cut in half, one of those two, Citadel or Susquehanna, just got out of their position and the filing came or whatever, Ortex. I don't know how they aggregate these. I don't know how they sniff it out. Not a detective, not a junior detective, but bottom line, the short just like 2 days ago got cut in half. So one of these companies flipped long. Now, when you put the evidence together, who was it? Well, who's the major long? It's Citadel. They were also the major short. That's how it works. The call is always coming from inside of the house. They control both sides. The shorts and the longs work together. They walk this thing down, then they club retail in the genitals for about, 30 or 45 days or however long it takes. They just beat you about the face, breast, head, neck, and chest until you give up and sell your shares. That's how it goes, guys. You got to wear a cup when you buy stocks. You got to wear a proper athletic supporter. You got to wear a titanium cup. I'm telling you guys, it's not all it's cracked up to be. The other thing you look for in terms of the chart is just how the thing will bottom out and then form this nice base. You see how this always happens? Look at the walk down. Okay, so they're basically walking it down from 10, where it had, it was basically the algo was holding it up here at 960. It was the top, and then it was trading in this range down to 8. You guys see this? It's trading in this nice little neat range. Look for these walking zombie stocks. They're always neatly algo controlled. You can always see it. They always do dump and pumps or pump and dumps. There's a dump all the way back down below 5. So they stop people out at 5, and then they pump it right back up to where it was in just a matter of a few days. I mean, this is like a week. It doubles. This is shenanigans. I call shenanigans on this stock. It's a definite shenanigans, bullshit, fugazi, take advantage, then go full send, blow retails, depends off, and just leave them for dead in a bus stop in Tijuana like they're Llewellyn Moss. Just hold up a bloody $100 bill. Ain't no Lobos. Agua. Agua. I ain't got no agua. Where are you going, Llewellyn? About to do something dumber than hell. I'll do it anyway. I love that mentality. That's how I live my life. Full send. I just think, is this dumber than hell? I'll go ahead and do it anyway. I think, what would Llewellyn Moss do? I know that truck belongs to a feller named Moss. Llewellyn Moss? Then he's like, listen, you dummy, you dumb deputy. Who else would it be? There's only one fellow named Moss, only one truck. We both know what we're talking about. Don't pipe up and act like you're solving the case saying Llewellyn Moss. We all know it's Llewellyn Moss. Ain't no other Moss this truck. Now, shut up, boy. Wasn't even in the script. Tommy Lee Jones, Oscar-winning actor. Shut the fuck up. Be stepping on my line, boy. Love me some No Country. Where does he work? Did you not hear me? I ain't at liberty to give out no information about our residents. Oh, guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up in just a few minutes. I know that I haven't really communicated anything effectively to you. The show has provided you absolutely no value. I encourage you to hit the thumbs down and just go punch yourself as hard as you can right in the junk because you deserve it. Hood's up, Palantir's up, of course. CRISPR's down, Sofi's down a little bit. And people were asking me, would you buy Sofi? Everybody always, still asks me about Sofi a lot. Even people I know, because I've been pumping the hell out of this stock, begging everybody to buy it at 5. And, you did or you didn't. That's neither here nor there. But, I can't tell you what to do. I said before, I wouldn't be at all surprised or alarmed if it retraces down into the 18s. Stock just made a hell of a move off of 7. I mean, been a very hot stock, and people tend, to take profits. So I wouldn't be at all surprised. But I think really honestly, in my opinion, it's going to hold up above 20 because I think it's a stock that everybody knows the growth trajectory is not going to stop. They're going to continue to execute, and that's going to be a big company. That's why I say I think Sofi, out of all of these things, is the most guaranteed to be a big company. It's almost like a lock. They're just continuing to grow and execute and dominate and build their brand, the right partnerships, the right advertising. They just continue to grow, execute, and win in any market, in any condition. I love the stock. It's like my number one long-term stock for the rest of the decade. 100% is Sofi. And it's not because I think it's going to grow the fastest or be the most explosive or the most exciting. It's because I think it's going to give you the growth, but it's going to do it, with an extremely high likelihood of success and an extremely low likelihood that management shits the bed. So there's one thing you don't want. It's management that's just going to take a dump in the bed. It's very, very messy. You throw away all your bedding. Probably throw away your mattress. Mattresses these days anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. Great Carl Seamark knows that. Mattress King of Chicago, for God's sake. There he is. Yeah, Carl, I'm feeling that same thing. That's why I'm like, I'm very conflicted here. Like CRISPR, I feel like I've got it. Long term, I love it, but I feel like everybody's taking profits. I've got to take some profits. I haven't made up my mind yet. Like if it drops down, I think it's going to drop down below 60 up because I'm coming in the stock from the 30s, guys. I've got a lot of profit. You can't sit there in the market in these stocks. Sofi, yeah, you could just hold it forever. But these other stocks like SMCI, CRISPR, that the market makers are creating all this fake volatility. And this is fake volatility. Guys, this move down to 5, this in prop, this move up to 960, this is all fake volatility. The same algo that was just holding this steady is the same algo that's making it do this. It's the same algo that's making it walk at a 45-degree angle from 950 down to 350 in a matter of, 2 months for no reason. And I know there's a reason, and I know the history. It's all BS. This is they've invested in the future. They're drilling. I'm telling you, they're going to send this thing. they're going to send it back up, right up to here, at least 857, at least. And it's going to happen at least as fast as they did this on the way down. The volume is coming in. You see the volume coming in like a freaking freight train. Look at it. Look at the institutions that run the entire market. Why are they all in this stock? Why did the short just drop 50% in one day? The entire short dropped 50% in one day. I don't know, guys. I can't tell you. Like, it may not happen. It may just crash. But this doesn't make any sense unless they're going to send it back up above that 850 level. Look at the average these huge companies have. Look at Vanguard's average, State Street's average, BlackRock's average. It's all $7-8. So they have to send it. They're going to send it, like that Canadian guy with the mullet on the motorcycle. Guys, I'm going to restart this show shortly. I have a meeting coming up. Apologies. I got to look at the market. I got a meeting, and then I'll get back at you, and we'll see where everything's going on. Thanks for joining me, Tortuga. Yeah. Clap my dog, Carl, Premium the Option, everybody else. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot. And it's un poco mas. I got to prepare for this essential meeting. It's very, very important here on Monday. Peace.